Hey everybody, it's Astro D. Relationships and synastry, that's my specialty. Bringing some flavor to this thing we call astrology. Hello, hello, hello. I hope that everybody is wading through this crazy astrological weather because I know I'm trying to hold on. Okay, I feel like a weather reporter, and in the clouds, like, you guys, it's raining outside. Abort, 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 I'm leaving, I'm out. And then, I just want to bounce because, like, this stuff is crazy. I wanted to, first I want to, talk about the stuff that's been going on this week. This Mercury Saturn conjunction, Mercury retro, okay? Mercury conjunct Saturn, Mercury retro is what's going on here. And I am just totally, thrown off guard with it. I'm like, oh shoot, that's exactly what's going on. Saturn and Mercury is connecting to Saturn in Sagittarius, okay? Very close to the galactic center. This is some serious shake-up stuff going on here. But just to keep you guys noted, I mean, even for me personally, with all of the turbulence, the astrologic turbulence and the turbulence going on with the planets in the sky, Astro D has had some wonderful things going on. You guys, in case you missed it, you can check out Gotham from last week's episode. Episode 10 is called Things That Go Boom, and you see Astro D in a whole new light. I have an awesome part on that show, and you guys could check it out, but the premiere was excellent. Thank you everybody that watched and sent me a message. If you haven't, check it out and let me know what you think. I thought I did pretty good. So that's going on with that. That's what's going on with that. So check out Gotham. If you haven't yet followed me on @AstroDstars5 on Instagram to keep posted on when I'm doing my videos. No, you guys, sorry, I'm not going live today. But Astro D is cooking up some stuff here, okay? This December month, this retrograde, I'm going back, reorganizing some stuff here, okay? You got this painting. I have showed this painting before, but I have a little bit better lighting and you can see it even better. So see Mercury Retrograde coming back with some new paintings and stuff like that. This is called Janita, this painting, and this is a singer from Finland, but she is doing her tour thing now in the U.S. and killing it. So check out Janita, Janita, and check out my artwork if you like that. So yes, let's get back to the astrology stuff, okay? So for today, I want to talk about this Mercury-Saturn conjunction. It's very interesting to me, almost fascinating. It's just so interesting. It's an exaggeration. But, it's really interesting, this Mercury-Saturn conjunction. And then I want to go over how it's going to affect all the other signs. And then I got a little treat for y'all. I got a little treat for everybody who might be down during this time. And it's even for myself. I want to say this poem that I have. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So anyway, let's get to stick with the astrology for now. Now, Mercury is conjuncting Saturn. Let's talk about what Saturn entails. Where is Saturn coming from, right? Saturn is the planet of discipline. Okay, it's a planet of, now remember, another thing I like to do before I go into it, I stop myself. I know what I'm doing. I stop myself. Before I go into it, I always want to look at, because a planet is not good or bad. We see Saturn or we see Mercury, oh, that's a good planet, or it's a bad. We do have our benefics and our malefic planets. However, each of them have a higher and a lower octave in which they operate. All right? So Saturn's higher octave in which it operates is discipline. Okay? The rewards from discipline, right? The rewards from good efforts made, hard work made. Saturn brings those rewards. Saturn is about discipline, okay? But that kind of discipline you need, creating a structure for yourself. Saturn is about structures, okay? Saturn is about building, creating lasting bonds is Saturn. Long-term, the big picture, the sturdy, long-term big picture. That's Saturn. Saturn rules our grandparents, the elderly in our families. Okay, so this planet right here is now connecting to, and now the lower octave of Saturn, right? The lower octave of Saturn is that kind of discipline, but that discipline that's a little too restricted. It's restricted. Saturn is suppression. Saturn can be just straight up bondage, depression, everything. Saturn is criticism. Critically looking at something and being able to judge it. Saturn is about judgment. Okay? Yay or nay. You go to jail, the hard knocks. Saturn is about the hard knocks. The hard knocks. And we need that. We need all these things I've just described to you. So we can't say, I can't stand Saturn. Get away from me, Saturn. No. Without Saturn, we'd all be floating in the sky. So anyway. So you have Saturn meeting with Mercury. Mercury is how in which we all communicate. Where we're thinking, where is the minds of the people? Where is the way in which, the style in which you might communicate, how you communicate, written communications. We have a mail, sending of messages. Mercury is the messenger, right? So the sending of messages, the thoughts, the speech, all right? This planet is going retrograde. Everything is retrograde. Oh my God, retrograde. Retrograde is when a planet appears as though it stops in the sky. It's not really, it appears as though it's going backwards in the sky. No, it's not going backwards. It's just still. It's ruminating. It's thinking. It's reorganizing, reassessing. You know what I'm saying? It's taking a little vacay, right? But that's where we, in a sense, take a vacay going backwards. We go back to the past. We go back to things. And pretty much it's like the planet of communication, sending messages, delivering communication is kind of sleeping right now. It's resting. So therefore, that's where the whole thing of, oh, you know, Mercury retrograde, don't sign contracts. There's so many things that are going on. It's going to get messed up and all that is because they say the planet in which you're communicating is kind of asleep right now. And when you're going forth with something in which you need to look at the details, which was ruled by Mercury, look at the fine writing, which is ruled by Mercury. When you want to look at these things, you want Mercury to be awake. You want to be able to get the best from that energy when you're about to do something like that. So that's why they say, chill with it. Flowing with the energies instead of trying to fight against it. I want to start something new. I want to do this big, big thing. I want to spend all this money during a Mercury retrograde. And it's like, nah, chill. Think about it. Why don't you rest like Mercury's resting, okay? And I don't mean go crawl under a rock, which I wish I could, but you can't. I don't mean do that. Sometimes I do. I don't mean go do that, but it's just chill out for a second. Things might not always be what they seem during a Mercury retrograde, especially new things or things initiated. You see, okay. So now for those who are getting jobs and stuff, I'm not saying don't take a job if you see a job coming up because it's a Mercury retrograde. I'm not saying do all that. What I'm saying is make sure you look at the fine details, okay? You re-look at it, keep looking at it again. Go back to old jobs that you were trying to do. Older things are of value, are in flow with this Mercury retrograde. So if this is a conversation you've been meaning to have, all right, maybe it's a good time to have it, but be careful now. So check this out. So now with the Mercury retrograde I described, and it's in Sagittarius, so it's in truth, in the sign of telling the truth, okay? So a lot of people, if you're not telling the truth and be honest, Saturn is going to knock you off your behind, all right? Speak that Mercury truth. Now another thing, because Mercury is in retro, the truth is unclear. A lot of times the truth is unclear. So with the Saturn-Mercury conjunction, you have discipline, restriction, criticism on the thoughts and the words, okay? Now where this Saturn-Mercury conjunction falls in your chart is where you will be dealing with this. There is a lot of criticisms going on right now. A lot of people, the bullies are coming out, y'all. And, you know, not necessarily you're being a bully. You might be that Saturn person that's telling somebody that they need to get their ish together, or they're not doing something right, or you can see the details that you normally wouldn't have been able to see before. But right now you can see them and you want to say something about it and be bold and courageous in the way you say it, but it might be a little too much, okay? It might be a little too much, so let's get into that further. Now, this is where we have to be careful in our thoughts as well. Saturn is on the thoughts, so a lot of the thoughts might be some people might be depressed, some people might be over criticizing themselves, too much. Remember the higher and the lower octave. This is the lower octave of Saturn. If you want to transform it into the higher octave, now you think critically about how you can be a better person. You pick yourself apart so that you don't have to worry about the other people. Like, look, man, I'm picking myself apart. I don't need to hear none of that from you. Okay, you pick yourself apart and you realize, you figure out, what is it about me that I can improve? What am I doing wrong? You can see what you're doing wrong much more clearly now with Saturn conjuncting Mercury, and especially where what house Saturn and Mercury are conjuncting in. This is where you can see exactly, okay, what do I need to fix? And especially with Mercury going retrograde into the past, what have I done in the past that wasn't right? What karmic issues am I dealing with right now? Okay? So if somebody curses you out, if somebody points out your flaws and hurts your feelings and all that stuff, try not to take it personally. Now I look back on the video and I was like, don't take it personally. I don't take it personally. Look, I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm not perfect. None of that stuff. Okay? Astro D done got pissed off quite a few times this week. But you know what? I'm so happy that I do study astrology, because this keeps me grounded in a sense, to not repeat the same mistakes, to not, and I will say something. I'm telling you, people don't know me. They bet you're thinking you know me. That's the name of the treat I have for you guys later. But, people think they know you and they can say things to you. And it's like, look, I'm trying to work on myself here. I'm trying to be better. All right? Oh, my God. So, we have to, this is where the challenge is, okay? For a lot of people, I believe a lot of people are being tested and challenged karmically right now, all right? Are you going to curse this person out? Are you going to do this thing? Are you going to judge this person in the most harshest way that you can think of? Because karma is going to come right back to you. And I know, since 2012, a lot of us have been dealing with karma a lot quicker. It comes back to you faster than normally. I personally, since I was a kid, I'll say something and trip immediately after I said it. Like, oh my God, look at her hair. Oh, damn, shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? I just get it right away, So I try to do the best that I can and treat people the best I can, because karma hits me immediately, y'all. So if I have offended you, trust, it has come back to me. It has come back. So with that being said, you need to look at your chart, know what your ascendant is, because what I'm about to read off when I go through Aries through Pisces, I'm going to be reading off people's ascendants. You can look at your moon sign as well and your sun. Some people do that, but get your birth chart calculated through Astro Lada's birth chart calculator. You go to astro.com. There's so many different sources to calculate where your planets are. And once you know that, you can follow along through these videos, a lot of horoscope videos, a lot better, and get a lot more from it. So this is why I always recommend that. So I want to go through each sign and how this Saturn conjunct Mercury is going to affect you. And remember, everybody, try to, if you're being critical on yourself, try to use it for the best of your advantage. Okay, if you feel like you're overweight, this is just an example. You feel like you're overweight. Instead of sitting there, I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that. Go to the gym. Go to the gym and be like, all right, I don't like my thighs, so I'm kicking harder. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them thighs, so I'm kicking. I'm going to work harder on them, and I'm going to accept what I have and just work to make it better. Apply discipline to your life. It's the best time to apply discipline. This is the best time to do detailed mental tasks in which that require your mercurial skills. Your skills that are, that require you to pay attention to details. This is the time to pay attention to the details, because you will get kicked in your behind if you don't. All right, Saturn will come get you. The older disciplinary, whatever, the government, Saturn does rule government. Just do your right thing. Do the right thing during this time period. All right, so for Aries, Saturn and Mercury are conjuncting in your 9th house. All right, so this concerns your beliefs. What are you believing in that you might need to go back and rethink it? Maybe you've had a belief that has knocked you on your foot. Maybe you've had a belief and somebody has judged you about it, or a belief that's gotten you into some type of trouble, where you're saying negative things to somebody, or you're saying negative things to yourself. I really want to apply that to the Aries that are talking to themselves negatively or have negative beliefs about themselves. It's about changing your beliefs, getting more realistic with this. All right, or maybe some of y'all are cocky and y'all need to get more realistic and pipe down a little bit, Aries, and really see things for what they are, the details of what they are. Okay, and some of y'all might need to even cut off some beliefs. Go back to maybe there was an old belief that you had that you let it go. all right? Or, you know, an old teacher. The ninth house also rules teachers. So maybe you had a teacher that you're getting into some type of tiff with. Maybe the information that they had once given you was not right, and you are judging your teacher. Let your teacher know, hey, teach, this ain't right. I don't like how you've been teaching me, okay? So that's Aries. And mind you, I'm going to go. And also Saturn rules your 11th house. So going to friends. Friends might also be this judgment, bring the judgment on to you about your beliefs. You may discover this issue that you're having with your beliefs through your friends and through the social groups that you connect to. Taurus. Taurus, this Saturn Mercury conjunction and retrograde is going to be in your 8th house. So this is about dealing with debts, okay? Dealing with debts. Maybe you owed somebody some money, okay, and they coming back to collect. Or maybe you didn't owe somebody some money. Now they take you behind the court, and then you back, they coming to collect. It could be something like that. The 8th house, also when Saturn's in the 8th house, a lot of times it's hard to borrow money. So it might not be about some money you borrowed, because it's really difficult to borrow money a lot of times with Saturn in the 8th house. Saturn restricts that. Saturn restricts the flow of income from other people, or Saturn could bind that type of income through other people. I don't know, you got married and then your sugar daddy says, hey, you know, I'm taking care of you for the next 10 years. Who knows? All right? Who knows? But Mercury is retrograding in this 8th house of yours. So you need to go back to even psychological issues that you were working on before. Maybe they're going to come back to the surface. Maybe you need to deal with them and be more critical about it. Or maybe somebody really hurt your feelings and then took you back to therapy. You know, something like that. This is for Taurus, all right? Saturn also rules your 10th house. So this could be an incident that could have happened in the work or the career field. The career sphere. That's what I was trying to say. You know, this could have been something that happened with your reputation. You know what I'm saying? And now you got to go back and really rethink how you are, you know, how are you perceiving what's coming from other people, and how are you utilizing what's coming from other people, the resources other people are giving you as well. So be very, very careful. Coming from others, judgments, criticisms could be coming from outside sources. It could be coming from other people, bringing it into your life, all right? Judging how you are dealing with money. Somebody could be dogging you for being in debt. How are you going to react to this? How are you going to perceive? Because Mercury is also our perception. How are you going to perceive what's happening to you? Are you going to do this the right way or not? Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. The 7th house of partnerships, okay? Could be some harsh words said from the partner, all right? Somebody could say something rough to you, or you could say something rough to somebody, all right, causing separations. Mercury, Saturn rules separations. Mercury is talking. So a lot of people are dealing with not speaking to people. They will all go through that. Like, you know, you might need to cut off from some people. It's just how it is. You might need to cut off for a little bit, but you're dealing with harsh words that have been said from another, or you're saying these harsh things, or even thinking too critically. Now you're thinking really deeply about this relationship. You can see the little details of things that didn't go wrong that are going wrong in the relationship right now. You can just see it. So now you want to go back. So don't, now just because you feel in some kind of way, Gemini, about your relationship, don't let an ex-lover come back and make you think that you're supposed to be with this person because you got problems in your relationship. It's not like that, Gemini. It's about rethinking, reorganizing, rearranging how you are communicating with your partner, and how are you guys being too critical on each other or too critical about the partnership. All right? Maybe you guys are getting depressed about this whole thing, and it might not be necessary. Okay? Because Mercury, I'm going to explain that again. Mercury going retrograde rules misunderstandings as well. So it could be a misunderstanding cause that problem. All right, Cancer. Cancer, the 6th house in the workplace. So you could be criticizing your employees. You could be too harsh on your employees, or you could be seeing what is wrong with what they are doing. Be easy on people trying to work here now, because they're probably judging themselves. They're probably being too critical on themselves already. So be easy, boss. Okay, if you are, you know, an employer, dealing with this in the 6th house. For Cancer, if you're an employer or if you're an employee, you know, the boss might be coming down hard on you. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge yourself. Don't be hard or too hard on yourself right now. Mercury is retrograde. Things are not what they seem. You know, you might have misunderstood something the boss might have said to you. So try not to take it personal. That's the whole thing with these trying not to take things personal and perceiving things the best way that you can. Leo, the 5th house. Now you could be getting real serious and critical on your children. All right, maybe, you know, you can see, all right, Jimmy, I'm sick of you not cleaning up your room. I'm done with this. Getting real tired of it, but try not to belittle. When this critical energy comes, it's about improving. Use it to improve. Use it to make things better. Don't use it to belittle somebody or make people feel bad about themselves. That is the key with this energy. To not be overly critical with people. Also, dealing with your children. Also, this could be a romantic issue you're dealing with. You could be scrutinizing your romantic partnerships, in which affects how you are being creative or affects how your romance can be put out there. You know, maybe you just maybe you're just not having as much fun as you should be having because you're being too judgmental. All right, because you're picking apart, pick. Mercury also rules Virgo, that can see the details. And I think when Mercury and Saturn get together, that's kind of a Virgo-ish type of energy that goes on. So try not to be too serious and critical in your romantic partnerships. Try to, and if you are going to be serious and critical, okay, make sure that you use it for good. This is the perfect time to work on a creative project. Really dig deep into it and get into the details and go deep into how exactly you want this to be presented once Mercury goes forward. This is when we present our things, right? We work on and ruminate on things until Mercury goes forward. Virgo, Saturn rules your 4th house. Now you're settling issues of the past. You got to go back and work on settling some type of issues from the past. Somebody might have hurt your feelings. Mama might have said something to you, brought you back to when you were a kid, and now you got to work on these things. Now you got to really dig deep and deal with this. Okay? It's going to make you want to work harder on yourself and maybe even healing your past issues that are going on. You could also be feeling like, you know what, it's time to move. I really don't like this place. But be real easy on it. Like I said, things are not what they seem. You could have moved somewhere. And it's you're like, I hate this neighborhood. I thought I liked it, but I hate it in this house. And just give it some time. Give it some time. It might ease up for you, Virgo. When Mercury goes forward, you get maybe more information. Maybe you can find out, I don't know, it used to be Martin Luther King's old house. I don't know. You're like, oh my God, it's not that bad. I could live here. This is like a historical house. Just adding on something silly to it to lighten it up so nobody gets too worried about Mercury retrogrades, okay? Not too worried, just flow with it is all I say. You ain't got nothing to worry about as long as you're reorganizing, rethinking, you know, and not tripping if something don't work, if something goes off. Like the camera didn't work today almost, and I was like, no. And I mean, there's some people, okay, I'm gonna go forward now. Cause I get caught up, and I know you guys are doing the timestamps and stuff. So Libra, ruling the 3rd house. Mercury is retrograding to the mind. How are you thinking? How are you talking? This is especially sensitive to your minds, Libra's ascendants. Really be careful how you're thinking, not being too overly critical on yourself, on how you're talking to people. The 3rd house rules how you communicate and how you speak. So you Libras might be talking real harsh these days to people and might be finding all the fine print like, did you read that line? Line 3, paragraph 6? I don't like that. Libra, I don't like that. And you're going to say it the way you want to say it. And if it comes off harsh, rough, cold, because Saturn is a cold planet, if it comes off cold, then hey, you know, that's what it is. But just try not to judge too much because things are not quite what they seem, Libra. Things aren't quite there yet. All right? Scorpio. This Saturn-Mercury retro conjunction is going to be in your 2nd house. All right? So maybe somebody judged you about, I don't know, how you're making your money. Maybe you need to really rethink on better ways in doing that. Maybe you've been too critical. Maybe you've been too stingy with your self-value. And stinginess, Saturn, Mercury, I look at that, that's some stinginess right there. All right? Maybe even with your finances, you've been really too tight or it's felt tight for you. Okay? things will, you're rearranging how to work on your finances. You're rearranging how to view yourself and maybe put more value on the work that you're doing, right? Because somebody tried to take away your value. Maybe your value was challenged. And I say, you know what, this ain't that good. I don't like your stuff that much. You see how this looks like that? That ain't that cute. You ain't that neat. And you're feeling some kind of way. But hey, this is where you use that energy. Okay, maybe it's not that neat. Maybe I need to really get objective with myself. Maybe I need to look at my work that I'm putting out there. Maybe I can get more money from my work if I get more critical with myself and I get more tight and neater and organized with how I'm putting my work out there. Sagittarius is hitting your first house, Saggies. Somebody go hug a Sag. Go hug a Sag, somebody. But no, it's going to be leaving soon, Sagittarius, but it's on your first house. It's on your body. So what's coming to you is on your first house, all right? So you're definitely Sagittarians are ripping themselves apart and being overcritical and just negative on the lower octave. But take that critical energy, Sagittarius. And I got Venus on the ascendant. So try to, you'll be like, I feel bad, but I look good. So try to take that critical energy and make yourself better. Transform yourself. Especially on the physical tip, because it's on the first house. So if you're looking at your bodies and you're picking apart each fat cell on your thighs, all right, go to the gym. I like using that one. Go to the gym, Sagittarius. Read a book on self-love and self-help and all that good stuff, all right? But the mind is definitely, people are talking about Sagittarians because Mercury was on Sagittarius' first house, so people talk about you, all right? Or talking about you're in the eye, public eye, speaking. The thoughts are on the Sagittarius, all right? And critical thoughts are on the Sagittarius. Why you do that? Why you do it like this? Why you do it like that? I don't like it that you do it like this, okay? Sagittarius is dealing with that. So, best part, try the perception. How are you perceiving Mercury, the criticism, Saturn? Take it the best way that you can with a grain of salt. All right? Take it the best way you can. Saturn also rules your second house. This is also going to help your self-worth. Or, it could have been an incident where in the beginning of the retrograde, somebody said something to you that devalued your self-worth. And now you're working on how to rebuild that. When was there a time when I did have that confidence that I needed to get what I need to get done and to brush off the haters, okay? Brush them off. So Sagittarius, try to not be too hard on yourselves. Capricorn, 12th house. Saturn, Mercury in the 12th. How are we dealing with our spiritual life? How are we dealing with our spiritual practices? Are you facing negative things spiritually? Because this is the unseen, Saturn in the unseen world. Are you facing some entities that just are not cool? In the unseen world, sleeping habits been really bad, something like that. Or dealing with secret enemies. Maybe, you're dealing with something below the surface that needs to come out. An old situation with somebody that wasn't treating you right or that didn't like you and never told you they liked you. And now they're ready. Or it's coming back. Or the things that they were doing because they secretly didn't like you, they're starting to come back to the surface like, yo, man, I didn't think you liked me. I thought you hated me. That's coming to the surface for Capricorn. Saturn conjunct Mercury in the 12th house. So make sure, this is the time a lot of Capricorns are going to want to lay low. All right? You better lay low. Okay. So the Capricorns in there, you guys are going to want to lay low. All right? And when you're laying low, make sure that self-talk is not too harsh, okay? Make sure that self-talk is not too harsh, or you are not totally receiving in your soul the negative messages. You might be getting some rough stuff from the other side, giving you some tough information here. So be careful with that. And also, Saturn rules you. It's Saturn Capricorn. Saturn rules your first house as well. So, a lot of the Capricorns and Sagittarians are going to be the bringers of a lot of karma for a lot of people. They're going to be hard on folks, Sagittarians and Cappies. Aquarius. This Saturn conjunction is in your, Saturn Mercury conjunction retrograde is in your 11th house. So arguments with friends. A lot of you Aquarians will be dealing with the group dynamic, getting sick of people judging you, you know, getting judgmental yourself, tired of the BS in the group dynamics. If you have a friend that's been, you know, not treating you right, this might be the time to let them go. But the tough part about letting things go for everybody during this time is that, with that being said, it's a retrograde. It's tough to leave somebody alone during a retrograde. I'm going to get back to that. Because I know some people like to skip forward to their sign. So when I say the general stuff, I like to say it at the end or in the beginning. So Pisces. Pisces is going to be in your 10th house of career. All right, so the Saturn-Mercury conjunction, maybe the things that you have building towards in your life, you might be ripping apart. I should have did this. I should have did that. You know, I could do this better. It's about going back. Going back and rebuilding yourself, okay? Going back and saying, all right, you know what? I didn't do it right this time, and this pissed me off, and I know I messed up here and I messed up there, but I'm going to do this better in this way, and I'm going to focus on these little details, and I'm going to fill out these applications the way I need to fill it out to get what I need. Okay, Pisces, some people might be judging you. That's your career and reputation. So Pisces are dealing with a lot of people talking about them, even more so than Sagittarius, because Pisces is also... it's in their 10th house of career, and that's your image, your public image, your standing to other people, you know, so be careful. And through the 12th house, so there could be hidden enemies talking about you. Pisces, Saturn also was your 12th house. There could be enemies, you know, talking ish about you, and it's affecting your public standing and your career. Wait till Mercury goes forward, all right? Things will clear up. If you stay steady, because remember I said earlier about karma, sometimes it'll knock you right off. You think, when it comes to karma, a lot of times we think that, oh, you know, this person did something bad to me and I could do something bad to them. But I'm also learning in my life, even if somebody does something bad to you, you do it right back bad to them, you get it still worse 3 times. And it's like, what? That's not fair. They deserved it. I'm not here to say what who and one doesn't deserve. And that's always tough for me too. It's like, that person doesn't deserve that. That person doesn't deserve that. I don't walk in that person's shoes. I don't walk in their soul to say what they should or should not have in this lifetime. I don't know. Okay? All I know is what I know I believe I deserve. And I'm going to try to focus on that. Right? And that's all a delusion sometimes too, because that's a whole nother thing. I'm getting too deep for y'all. So, with that being said, you know, with Mercury going retrograde, we're going to want to cut some people off. Some people are going to piss us off with this overly judgmental and this overly criticism stuff. But try not to be too extreme in the sense, because it's a Mercury retrograde. So there could be a lot of mistakes. Like, for example, somebody can go, you know what? I think what you just said was stupid. And you're like, did you just call me stupid? You just called me stupid. I cannot believe you just called me stupid. And they're like, nah, I wasn't trying to call you stupid. I said what you said. But no, you called me stupid. You know what? I ain't talking to you no more. I'm sick of this. I'm done. And you cut it off totally. And that was a misunderstanding. That was a separation caused by a misunderstanding. So a lot of times, you know, if you're not ready, if you got planets in your 12th house and you're not ready to deal with it, chill out. Get yourself together. Cool down. All right? Try to perceive things in the best way that you can, because Mercury rules the perception. Perceiving, I call this perceiving the negativity and the criticism and the depression or whatever. Perceive it in the best way that you can, in the most empowering way that you can. And it's not easy. It is not easy. Like I said, I struggle myself. I struggle myself with these things. And I just try to do my best to fix it, right? Because I say life is about the mistakes that we make, and then, like, how are we fixing these mistakes? Or are we just going to keep making them? Do we want to fix it? Are we even taking the time to look into ourselves, okay, to know that there's a problem? Because that's what Mercury, Saturn is doing. Showing you the problem so you could be better. So you can do things the better way, in a better way. So, the treat, this last little treat, before I go, after giving you guys all the astro flavor, I want to add in a little bit more, okay? Because I know, like I said, a lot of people are getting down on themselves looking at these charts, hearing the readings, hearing stories of everybody. A lot of people are being down on themselves, and a lot of people are getting down on others. So this is the time, even more so than ever, to try to pull kindness and compassion from yourselves and really try not to. And even if someone was harsh to you, to try to, I don't know, wish them well. And it's hard to do that, but I know wish people well because everybody's struggling right now. Everybody's going through something. And you don't know their soul's journey. You don't know what people are going through to be too hard on them, including the customer service people on the phone, people you don't see, the people that you talk to that you do see. All these people have feelings. So this is a time to really have more compassion. I know it's probably tough. You know, I know someone that called me the other day, and it's not even that just because these energies are here, you have to feel them. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, right? She called me, she's like, hey, what's going on? You know, what's all this negative talk? Because I was feeling down. She's like, well, what's all this negative talk? What are you talking about? It just seems like this energy is just like went over her head. And I was like, you know, like, damn, you don't feel this? You don't feel like, you know, I get down sometimes, but D, you can do this. You can keep going. Right? That's my mom talking about. All right, so I wanted to share, before I go, I wanted to leave you guys with some empowerment, and I hope that this empowers everybody in the best way that they can. You know, I also say with this Mercury-Saturn conjunction is that we are learning what our weaknesses are. And that is the most empowering thing that you can find out, is what is your weakness? What brings you down to your knees? Because once you know it and you're conscious of it, all right, you can prepare, you can be ready. Like, all right, when this comes, I know that's my weakness. I'm not going there. All right. I'm not even going there. I'm cool. And I'm going to be laid back and I'm going to have control over myself, because self-control is a weakness of mine. Blase, blase. So I thought this poem was good. I wanted to figure out the best time to read it to you guys. But I think now is definitely the best time for to read this. So yeah, I took my hat off for this one, y'all. So this poem is called Thinking You Know Me. All right. Now this poem originally started off as a rhyme. Okay, because I write rhymes too. You could look up Astro D, MC Baby D, if you want to YouTube me, and you can see I had my first single out when I was 7 years old. All right, and I was rapping. So I still write rhymes once in a while. Okay, so that was written as a rhyme, and then I started an all-girl rock band, and I said, you know what, it was tough for me to get lyrics to songs and find singers that were writers as well. It was really tough, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna write them songs. I'm gonna take my rhymes and I'm gonna make them songs. So the project kind of fell through, but it's still, kind of lingering. But the project kind of fell through, but I do still have my songs. So now today I'm going to make this a poem for you guys. And it's called Thinking You Know Me. Okay? So I got to get into poetry mode, y'all. I got to feel this. Okay? So, see, you got to know your kryptonite. For every black, there's a white with light shades of gray in between. Now hold on, I'm going to break it down so you'll know what I mean. You see that Superman woman on the corner looking all mean, sitting cocky chilling with that gangster lean? I got a message with a lesson that'll give you power and some armor too. Behind every triumph there are obstacles. They'll attract, distract, blindside, sidetrack, and leave you speechless. So you got to know what your weakness is. But see, I bet you're thinking you know me. But see, my weakness, it can't hold me down, not for long. I got this, and I won't quit. They'll have you in the palm of the hand, make you think you Pookie saying, they just keep calling me, man. A stripper. Fried chicken, grease pan toast with extra butter. Whatever's got you acting senseless. You better stop, fight, flight, and come up with some defenses, because see, life, that ish is hard. And haters, they can be relentless. But I bet you thinking you know me. But see, my weakness, it cannot hold me down, not for long, because I got this. And I won't quit. Now, they thought that they could sway my mind, which would then delay my progress. But see, now I finesse my success. My self-study, preparation, my mental training, my meditation, it's got me focused for this fight. So now, I will rock steady, ready for my kryptonite. Thank you everybody. I hope you rock steady, ready for your kryptonite. Times are not hard, but see, I bet you're thinking you know me. You don't. You don't. You don't. It will always prevail. We want to thrive, not just strive. We want to thrive. So look forward to some more videos from me Wednesdays, Sundays, getting it popping. Check out Fox Gotham. If you like these readings today and you want to get a personal, more in-depth reading, follow the link in the description. If you like this painting, follow the link in the description. Follow me at Astro D Stars 5 on Instagram. Excuse me. On Instagram, and shoot me an email at astroDstars@gmail.com and let me know what you think. Take care, everybody.